All right. Hello and good afternoon to everyone. To have today we have an 8 session, and I think today will be the last meeting that I will present for you. In another 4 session that we have, I will present slides for you, but the main and the most important information about research methodology will be finished by today, all right? So I hope by end of the today you can have main idea about research methodology, and you know that how you can start and write your research. Okay, today we want to talk about data analysis. I don't know, maybe some of you started your research and now you are in the data analysis of your research. So if you do this, so today you can get an idea about how you can analyze your data, or maybe some of you not gather and collect your data yet, so after that maybe this session will be useful for you. And last session we talk about data collection, and then we talk about the data sampling and so on, and today we want to talk about data analysis. In your research, after you analyzing your data, then you should start to write up your research, and then your progress and whatever that you find during the research, and then come up to the conclusions. All right. So for today, the outline of our presentation is the data analysis method, SPS, quantitative data analysis, and qualitative data analysis. Okay, the whole idea about data analysis method, you can say that the selection of data analysis method is very important aspect in the research, because by analyzing the data, you can achieve the research aim and objective successfully. Okay, so if you can analyze your data in the research, meaning that you can obtain the objective of your research success. It is very important that how you analyze your data. Several methods used by researchers to analyze the data obtained through the different data collection methods. As you remember that last session we talked about how we can collect our data, alright? So we have different methods to collect the data. Now, of course, about analyze the data, again, we have different methods. Data analysis is the process of analyzing all the information and evaluating the relevant information that can be helpful in better decision making. So pay attention to this, that data analyze, meaning that analyzing all information, the first point. The second point is evaluating, all right? Evaluating the relevant information. These two means data analyze. And data analyze helps in driving the conclusion out of the gathered information. Of course, the most important part in the research is data analysis, because after you do your analyzing the data, you can make your conclusion. You can drive all the things, purpose that you want to get in your research. So key consideration in data analysis: first, identify the purpose of analysis or a project. This is very important. Always I ask you that please identify your research objective and research purpose, and of course purpose of your analysis, all right? The second is understand the samples under study, meaning that how you collect the data and how you do the sampling data, all right? The third is understand the instrument being used to collect data, which method you use for collecting the data, and be cognizant of data layout and format, something like conceptual framework, and establish a unique identifier if matching or merging necessary. And finally, of course, plan your work and work your plan. This is very important. Uh, Always think about this sentence that plan your work and work your plan. And sometimes we have a plan, but we don't work with it. So in the timeline, we cannot finish it. Another thing that we work hard and hard, but because we don't have a plan, so again at the end we don't have any effective research. So both is important, work and plan together. All right, components of a data analysis plan, maybe we can say that a statement of research question. So when you want to data analysis, first you should have the research question, method used to answer research question, of course timeline, budget, and file restructuring procedure, okay? And algorithms for scoring and equating, data cleaning procedure, and quality control procedure at every step in the project. This is another important thing, the quality control procedure at every step. Every step in the project, you should have a quality control, all right? Today, our presentation may be very specific. Maybe you hear and read lots of work that before this you didn't hear about it and didn't talk about it, didn't read about it. So it doesn't matter. Sometimes for the first time we hear about something, and then after that, step by step, then after that you hear or read about it, it won't be familiar with you. Because as the emails I received from you, I think none of you at this level of the research that they come up to the analyze the data. So maybe today you don't have any idea about this analyzing the data. I think that most of you in the first or second part of the research, maybe in the literature review, or maybe only one or two of you at the level of the data collecting. So maybe today the presentation is very difficult for you. You cannot get the whole idea, but I ask you to try to get the most and more important thing that you can get it, all right? And after that, then you come to the data analyze part of your research. Again, come back to these slides and read them, and after that you can understand them better. Okay, so don't worry about today. Maybe you cannot get many of the things that I told you, but try to understand. And I ask you that when you are doing your research, when you get to the data collection, you go back and then see the slides about data collection again, and then start to data collecting, all right? When you get to data analyze, again, go back and see the slides of today. So always you should review them, all right? So example of analysis. This slide is one of that slides that I told you maybe you don't have any idea about it, but just listen and read them and then get familiar with it, all right? So example of analysis that we have, one of them is frequency distribution and cross tabulation, okay? This is one method for analyzing the data. The other one is descriptive statistics, means and multiplication and correlation, t-test and analyze of variance, ANOVA. And I think t-test is very common method of analysis of data, and maybe some of you work with this method. Regression also is very simple. Principal component, factor analyzing, data reduction, cluster and discriminant analysis, segmentation. This is another thing that I think maybe at your job and in your work you face with this method. Latent class analysis classification, and the other two is HLM and DIF. That HLM is the hierarchical linear modeling, and DIF a differential item functioning. I think maybe the most common method that you hear about it is SPSS, that we talk in next slide. All right. So more advanced analysis return the amount of preparation, meaning that most analysis can be executed straight from a working data file. All right. So maybe when you do your research, the most analysis that you want to do, so it's exactly executed from a working data file that you have. But sometimes some analysis may require transformation of the raw data subset or specific input data to comply with statistical software. Okay, but sometimes they need to transform to the of the raw data. Okay, you cannot use them directly. You cannot use your estimation directly. As I mentioned to you in last session and all the previous session that we have two methods of research, quantitative and qualitative. Okay. So about data analysis, again, we have quantitative data analysis and qualitative data analysis. Okay, so for quantitative data analysis, the key point is data must be analyzed to produce information. Computer software analysis is normally used for this process. Of course, we should use the software to analyze. Okay, data should be carefully prepared for analysis. That is very important. And researchers need to know how to select and use different charting and statistical techniques. Okay, you should know that which technique is more suitable for you. Qualitative data analysis, the main concern, preparing, inputting, and checking data, choosing the most appropriate statistic to describe the data that I mentioned before, choosing the most appropriate statistic to examine data relationship and trends. And another point that you should know, for data analyzing, it is the part of your research that sometimes you need to you need to take the help from others, from the experts, from the people that know the software of data analyzing. Okay, so in other level of research, I mean in high level of research, for example in PhD, many students that when they want to do their data analyzing, they should go and see some experts about analyzing the data. The person who knows the software very well, they can help you, and this is very common. All right. So because for your rest of your research, all the things that you should write and do, it depends on you. You should read, you should write, you should think about it, you should know what should you want to do, all right? But about data analysis, because there are many software and they are very technical, so knowing about the details of the software is not essential for the students, all right? So maybe you can go and see some experts. This is very common in academic area, okay? So you can take help from them. All right, quantitative data analysis can divide two parts. Summarizing data, that means a variable, simple statistic, effect, statistic, and statistical model, complex model. So first, summarizing data, and the second is generalizing from sample to population, as I mentioned in sampling data, okay? Okay, about summarizing data, we can say that data are a bunch of values of one or more variables, okay? So a variable is something that has different values. Values can be numbers or names depending on the variable. Okay, so we have numerics, example like weight, counting like number, injuries, for example, numbers of injuries, count, you can count it. Ordinal example is competitive level, okay, and nominal like gender, sex, value, or name, okay. So then value are numbers visualizing the distribution of all values in same and least plot or in the frequency histogram, okay? And then values are named visualizing the frequency of each value with a pie chart or just list of value and frequencies. Uh, okay, in this slide, we said that quantitative data analysis divides summarizing data and generalizing from sample to population. So now we have summarizing. Now the second part, generalizing from a sample to a population. So you study a sample to find out about the population. The sample, how you should choose the sample, and all thing about the sample, we talked about it before. The value of a statistic for a sample is only an estimate of the true, okay, population value, and express precision or uncertainty is true value using 95% confidential level, okay? The rest of this slide is very specific, and it's an example of one software that been used, and then this is the result. Okay, I think most of you heard about the SAS and SPSS. These are very common and normal methods that we use. So these two methods, SAS and SPSS, these are the system files. So in these two methods, data is stored in binary, okay, in binary format, meaning the issues of portability across the platform, okay. A structure as rectangular table, SAS files can be indexed for direct access, and self-contained documentation, meaning that data variable labels and format or data value labels, okay. Most analysis package provide facility for reading but not writing, okay. So all these package, these two analyze methods provide facility for reading, but writing you should do yourself, okay. System files from other packages, SPSS more than SAS certificate, okay. Using default data format can yield system files that are much larger than source ASCII files. ASCII files meaning that this is the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, this is one method for analyzing. In this slide, high ratio of statistical software. Just I want to give you the idea about this. You can consider it as a whole. All right. Okay. So we have something like Excel. We have something like general stats with statistics, like SAS and SPSS. For scientific, we have IRT. For advanced modeling, if you want to do advanced modeling, you can use factor analysis like EQF or nested model like HLM. All right. Just I want to show you this slide that you know about it, have some idea. When you heard about this, you didn't say to yourself that I didn't know what it's about. Just that idea in the book. All right. Okay, one of the student asked me about SPSS. Okay, in this slide, I think I put 4 slides for SPSS. Because at this level, I mean a master degree, most of the students use SPSS for their data analyzing, okay? If your research is not very complicated, so you can use SPSS. So I talk about SPSS more than other techniques and methods for data analyzing. So if you don't know about SPSS, you can follow me for these next four slides, okay? The first one, what is SPSS? A commercially produced statistical software. So SPSS is a software, right? Software package that is widely used in the field of education and psychology, okay? Program functionality is broken into over a dozen different models which are sold individually, okay? Most commonly used are base regression model and advanced model. So many versions of this is available at the market, but the famous is regression model and advanced model. Other models can be installed to run more complex analysis. Okay, SPSS data files include both the data and also variable information. So it can include the data and also variable information. So the use of SPSS tools is statistical analysis, thematic analysis, text analysis is some of the methods that are used as per the needs and demand of research objective and data. Okay. For SPSS, we require depth understanding and consideration over the method as it's a base to provide findings of research. Each method of data analysis presents the data in different ways. It depends on your information. It would reduce the ability of researchers to explore the research problem significantly. Okay. Another for SPSS, use of SPSS tools help the researcher to present the finding in quantitative manner. So this is the point that if your research approach is quantitative, okay, for example, you do the survey and you have collect the questionnaire and your research is something like quantitative, it has a quantitative manner, so you can use SPSS, which increase the understanding about the research result, alright? The use of this method requires more information from the quantitative method that I said to you, okay? So the use of SPSS needs information from quantitative method. On the other hand, use of thematic analysis method to analyze data requires fewer amounts of quantitative data in the comparison of SPSS method. So if you have a qualitative research, not quantitative, if your research is qualitative, meaning thematic analysis method, so it's not common to use SPSS for it, okay? In this method, the methods for qualitative then are present to analyze the pre- and post-research conditions, which help to determine what exactly is achieved from the study. Alright, so now we know that if our research is quantitative, SPS is very useful for us. Now, what is the SPS strength? Okay, the ability, the good point for SPS. It is easily opens data from other programs such as Excel and SAS. So if your data is in Excel, it's very easy to open it in SPS, okay? SPSS. Variable view screen allows for quick overview of file content and allow for easy modification of names, format, label, and variable order. Maybe now you cannot get the idea what is strange about, but when you work with the SPSS, you can understand that this strange of SPSS, that it is very easy to, for example, add format, label, and variable order, okay? Having all data information in single file allows sharing file, okay, on a project very, very easy, okay? So you can share it. Is another point. Point and click menus do not require memorizing syntax for majority of procedure. All the things available there, and you cannot, it doesn't need to memorize it. And a still file command allows all output to be replicated for various groups through a single command. Okay, so by the single command you can use for the group of your information, and journal, file, track, all commands used for life of program with good resources to find code accidentally deleted. Alright, so putting another point for the SPSS. Of course, this method has a strength and weaknesses as well. So for weaknesses, we can say that each of doing data manipulation can sometimes lead to mistake because the program does not preclude inappropriate modification to the data. So if you put wrong data among your data and then send them to the SPSS accept all of them, cannot exit the wrong data, okay? And matching feature requires exact match, okay? Error logs are hard to interpret at times. If you have error logs, you cannot correct it. And incompleteness of menus means some options are only available via syntax, okay? While the majority of output stays as pivot table and tablet, allowing greater flexibility in modifying table. So when you use with SPSS, you can get the idea about these weaknesses. So if you want to have an overview about SAS and SPSS, we can say that these two are most commonly used and tend to focus on the classic statistical routine, okay? And however, many symmetric procedures like IRT and newer statistical models are not as well supported by this program. So if you want to do something like IRT, you cannot use it, and a specialized program may have issues, okay? So now we talk about the data analyzing of quantitative research. Okay, now analyzing qualitative data. Okay, when, for example, you do interview, you don't have a questionnaire and numbers or something like this. You do your research as a qualitative. Okay. So qualitative data refers to all non-numeric data or data that have not been quantified and can be a product of all research strategies. Okay, for quantitative research, one of the data analysis methods is text analysis. The text analysis is the simplest form of data analysis which is beneficial for the qualitative research. Okay, so one of the simplest methods for qualitative research is text analysis. It presents the data in the form of graphs, tables, which is significant to improve the research effectiveness and reliability. Okay, for preparing data for qualitative analysis, the key issue is transcribing the qualitative data using electronic textual data, including scanned documents, okay, and the interactive nature of the process. Again, I mentioned that approach to qualitative analysis can be deductive and inductive. And the main types for qualitative analysis process, the first is summarizing and categorizing and then structuring, okay, meaning ordering of meaning using hierarchy. About categorizing the data, it means that points to consider about the categorizing data is driving categorized, analyzing data, recognizing relationship and developing categories, developing testable proposition, and qualifying your qualitative data. Okay, what is analytical aid? Type of analytical aid is interim summaries, self-memos, and research diaries. Of course, for qualitative research, maybe you should do it as a self-memo. Maybe you have a diary or interim summarize. So all of them is not in number. All of them should be scanned, and the other method that I mentioned in previous slide. Okay, procedure applicable to qualitative analysis, data display and analysis, template analysis, analytic induction, and grounded theory, discourse analysis, narrative analysis. For example, about interview, we have a narrative analysis. When we do the interview, so after that we should narrative analysis. Another thing is using a computer-assisted qualitative data analysis software that the abbreviation is CAQDAS for qualitative analysis. So one method I mentioned before is text analysis. Another method for qualitative analysis is CAQDAS, alright, meaning computer assisted qualitative data analysis software. So summary of function of this software is first is a structure of work, closeness to data and interactivity, explore the data, code and retrieve, project management and data organization, searching and integrating, writing memos, comments and notes, and then it gives you the output. Summary about qualitative data. So we can say that qualitative data results from the collection of standardized data that require classification and are analyzed through use of conceptualization. Okay, so we don't have a number. All right, qualitative analysis can involve summarizing, categorizing, and structuring the data. And the process of data analysis and collection are necessarily interactive. Okay. And aids to analyze include interim summarize, self-memos, and maintain a researcher diary. That we talk about the research diaries, like for example, in some science. So every day, for example, the researcher wants to know about the progress of growth of, for example, flower, right? So every day should go and then see and write something as a diary, all right? So this is the method of the data collection for qualitative data. Qualitative analysis procedure can be related to using either a deductive or inductive. And again, I mentioned that computer-assisted qualitative data analysis software, CAQDAS, can help with project manager and data organization. So this is another method for qualitative data analysis. So if you want to have a summary or overview of methods of data analysis in the research, we have a statistical test, we have mechanical techniques, we have interpretation of interviews and case studies, we have descriptive methods, data presentation, and moving average method. So these are all the methods for data analysis in the research. When you get to this part of your research, I mean, when you got to the analyzing the data of your research, then you can review these slides, and then you can choose which of them is more suitable for you. And about this part, you should talk to the expert, okay, the specialist, a person that can help you, because sometimes knowing how to work with this software, it doesn't have any point for you. Of course, if you have a time, enough time, of course you should buy the books about the software and read about it and learn, all right? But most of the time, the most important thing is analyzing the, doesn't knowing about how to work with this software doesn't have any point for you. So you can talk with the expert. This expert help you that you can how you can feed your information data to the software, and how you can get the output. And then when the output is ready, now your work begins, and now you should analyze from this output and come up to your conclusion. So I think for data analysis, to the presentation finish. So if you have any question, you can ask me now. Thank you. I will send this slide to you by email, and of course I attach another slide, another presentation about the detail of SPSS or Excel or something like this, because presented this slide in the class doesn't have any point, because you cannot get this idea. You should read yourself and work with the computer and this software. So I attach this presentation, include today's presentation for you, okay? And I will send it. Can you hear me now very well? Okay, so maybe because one of the students got problem, maybe the problem is his side, it's not my side, because the rest of the student can hear me. All right. Uh, Another thing, if you don't have a question, we can talk about your presentation and our plan for next session. I think because most of you doesn't do your data analysis, so you don't have any idea and cannot ask me any question now. So it's better that we talk about our next session. For next session, I choose three of you for presentation, because regarding to your email and the work that you have done up to now, I think these three students are ready for presentation for next class. Okay. I choose Mr. Akmal and Mr. Nazari and Mr. Lal Muhammad for next class, that they present their work. I don't know, they are now in the class or no. Mr. Akmal is here, yes. Mr. Lal Muhammad is here. Yes, Mr. Nazari also now in the class. Do you agree or no? Can you prepare for next class or no? Mr. Lal Mohammed, can you be ready? Okay, all right. Now, is the iPad ready? Okay. Mr. Lal Mohammed, I read your proposal about value chain analysis later in Afghanistan. I think you can make your slides from the research proposal. In my side, I think you can. Why do you think you cannot?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I am now collecting the information from different parts, for example, from Butcher Association and also from one factory here in Afghanistan, leather factory. I am collecting information for next week. I will present my presentation.
Okay.
Not for next week.
Hello.
Hello. Yes,
Yeah.
I hear.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not ready for next week. I'm not ready for next week. I will present my presentation for the another week.
Okay. So if I ask you to present up to data collection, is it okay for you?
Yes, it's okay.
All right. Because I think most of the students, I cannot, I cannot find any of you that do your job completely. Okay. So it's better that we can divide our classes to two parts. The first part, all of the students present their work up to data collection. Okay. And after that, in second part, a student present their work from data collection to the end of the research, conclusion. I think as this way we can get more idea, because now none of you completely do your job, okay? So I ask you, Mr. Akmal, and also Mr. Nazari, that for next class, present from the first up to data collection. All right. Okay. What about Mr. Nazari? Do you agree with me or no? Mr. Nazari, can you talk now? Okay, I don't know, Mr. Nazari can hear me or no. Okay, so for next class, Mr. Oh, hello. Yes.
Yes, sorry, it was. Yes, I was not with you. Can you repeat what is your question?
Okay. All right, Mr. Nazari. I asked you, Mr. Akmal, and Mr. Lal Mohammed, that for next class, present your work up to data collection. Is it possible for you?
I think in the next classes, but not in the next class, but maybe in the future. Yes.
Okay, because I read your research proposal, I think from this research proposal that you sent to me, you can prepare the slides up to data collection, meaning the background the topic of your research, background about your research, and then research question, research objective, and problem statement. Something like this, very easy, not complicated, not too much, okay? And then up to data collection, and then give me some summarize of your literature review. That's all, nothing else. And after that, again, you will present about data collection, analysis, and then conclusion. So up to data and data collection, I think your work is ready. So if you agree, you can present to us for next class. Okay, thank you. Okay, about the other two students, Mr. Aknam and Mr. Lal Mohammed, you also the same thing you should do. Give us your topic, present for us your topic, and then give us the background of your research, research question, research objective, problem statement, and some a little, summarize of your literature review. That's all. Around 15 slides, I think it's okay. Not too many slides, because after that, we want to discuss about your research, and we have a Q&A from my side and also the other students. So I think okay. And I know that you are the first group, so your time is not too much. So I will consider all of these for your point, okay, for your mark. Yes, I think for each of the students, 15 minutes to 20 minutes will be enough with 15 slides. And then after that, we want to discuss, okay? This is one thing that I want to talk about to you, to you. Another thing, I want you to ask the other students that attend the class. Yes, Mr. Nazari. Hello, Mr. Nazari, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Sorry, I don't have any question. Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Nazari, you will be the third presenter for next class. Okay. Just give me the 10 to 15 slides for 15 minutes of presentation. Okay.
Sorry, maybe I will not be ready for next, but maybe in the other classes I will try, but not for that, because I have some. I want to go to the field, and maybe in 2-3 days, and then maybe I will not be able to. I will not be ready to present.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So for next class, we have only 2 presenters. And these 2 presenters maybe have more time. Okay, no problem. And then another thing, yes, I want to ask you to send this message to other students that please attend the class. Honestly, I'm not satisfied with this class, because many of the students doesn't send me at least the topic, and I don't know how they can do their research by end of this class. All right. So I think you can maybe you see each other, or you talk with each other, and ask the other students that attend the class, send me email, and be ready for the presentation, because next week, yes, this is the first presentation that we have, so I don't push anyone to do anything, all right? But after that, we don't have too much time that I want to wait for the student that they come to the class and present. If they miss the presentation, meaning miss the remark, my mark, all right? So because this class is for learning, sharing knowledge, and we want to have some practical knowledge about the MBA, all right? So I don't know if you attend this course means that you want to learn something because it's different with university or other something or other field. And this is the class that you volunteers and come to the class and enroll it and because you want to learn. So I think it's better to arrange your time and have a better plan and cooperate with me more than this, okay? Before this, you asked me to change the class time. I do it, of course it's very difficult for me, but I do it for you. I change the class time, but after that, many of the students that ask me to change the class time doesn't attend the class, alright? So I ask you to be more uh, hard worker about this class, okay? So if you have any question about the slides or your presentation, you can ask me now. Thank you. Okay, and about the student that their supervisor, it's not me. They, for example, they choose their research in field of marketing or financing. So they can decide whether they want to give a presentation in our class or not. It depends on them. They can present in our class, and also we can invite their supervisor as well because it is a good chance for them to have an analysis of their work, okay? So it depends on them. For example, Dr. Barak, do you want to present your work in our class or you want to do your research with your supervisor? Hello, Dr. Barak, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, hello, Dr. Barak.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening
So
to
I
you.
got uh, I got your point. I would like to present through your class and also share it with my uh, uh, supervisor, with Mr. Rasul. Recently, I sent the proposal with your comments to him, and he replied me that he will send his comments. Yet I didn't receive any comment from him, and also, fortunately, next Sunday I'm leaving for the Umrah Hajj, and I will not be able to attend the two next classes.
So
So
next
after
class
that,
you cannot attend, you mean, Dr. Barak? Next Monday you are not here.
yeah.
All
Because
right, all
on
right.
Sunday I'm leaving for Umrah Hajj, and
Okay.
I will come back on 2nd of Heat. So, and during this time, I will not. I'm not sure that I will have access to internet during Umrah
All
or
right.
not. So,
Okay.
therefore, I am postponing all to attend these classes. So after that, hopefully, I'm working to have a draft material for the presentation, and I will share it with you, of course, through the email for your comments also.
Correct.
and I wish to have at the same time presentation through your class and have the comments of you and other classmates, and also at the same time for sure to have the comments of my direct supervisor also.
Okay, so I will put your name as a presenter for the next two classes, okay? Today is 8th class. I put your name in the 10 classes,
on
okay?
11 or class 12?
Okay, on 11, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
By 11, I think I will be able to have the presentation.
All right. Okay. All right. I will put your name for 11th week that we have together, and then if you do your gathering data and sampling and data analysis, also you can present it as well. It depends on your work, but if you don't do them, so up to data collection you can present your work, okay?
Yeah. Up to data collection, okay.
Correct.
So I will share all my presentation before to present it to the class with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Mr. Akmal, hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Good evening.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Good evening to you and to all.
All
actually,
right.
I was supposed to ask or get some information about future presentation. Who will be the first presenter, me or?
It doesn't different. It depends on you. If you want to be at first, you can be. If no, Mr. Lal Muhammad, and maybe for 5 or 10 minutes the first of the class, I present some slides again for you about how to write or something like this, write the conclusion of your research, but not too many slides, maybe around 8 or 2 or 10 slides I will present. Then you make ready and then you start your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Also, I just would like to share that still my work is not been completed because I'm still in the progress of my work, and also it will take even 2 more weeks. But I will my best try to provide to present my presentation and prepare it for the next session. And
All right. It doesn't
if
matter.
Lal Muhammad is ready, I will let him to present. Otherwise, I will be the first presenter. And
Okay.
before to present my presentation, I will send it to you at least 2 days before to get your comment. And then after I will improve it and will be able to present. So and
Yeah, it's okay. Yes, you mentioned a good point. I asked the presenter, you and Mr. Lal Muhammad, that send me your slides at least 2 or 3 days before Monday, okay? That I can read them and give you the comments.
Yeah, thank you so much, because this will be the first presentation of research, and this is a new thanks for me also, and I hope I would be able to provide a sensible presentation for this topic, and I will need your help.
All right, no problem. And then don't think that it is a very official presentation. No, you should just talk about your topic and your research and whatever that you have done up to now, all right? And then you can get the idea from my side or other students, and this is help to you to make your work better. It is a very common and simple presentation, not very official. So it doesn't matter that how much you do and complete your work. up to there that you complete your work, you can present it for us. Yes.
Of course, this presentation will not be the final presentation to present my thesis or these kind of things. Only it will let me or will help me to show or to present the way I am
Yeah.
following for the research. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. Only you can present and then get our idea. Okay, my idea and the other student, and that's all. It's not very complicated. Very easy. Just we want to have your idea, your research, and we can share to each other. That's
Okay. Thank you so much.
all right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. I have one question.
Okay. You can.
Actually, honestly, I should say the right that the SPSS software, which I'm already going to download it from internet. This is something new for me, but
Okay.
I think we are using some alternative software for this kind of calculation or generating statistic data.
Uh,
So I just heard today about this, and could you please a little bit explain about this software, how to be used, or how for which type of data generation can be used this kind of software?
All right. Okay. I think you want to know about SPSS more, yeah? Okay.
Yes, about a little bit information about this software because this is my first time I am hearing
Uh-huh.
about this. But
All
what
right.
I just understood from downloading, this is just a software for the calculation. However, we are
Okay.
using some other software for this thing.
All right. Okay. I mentioned SPSS as a common. Or let's see. Yeah, I mentioned SPSS as one of the common methods for analyzing data because in my country and in my university, I see that most of the students they use SPSS as one of the methods for analyzing data at this level, at the level of a bachelor or certificate of master. Okay, I suggest you SPSS, but if you don't want or you don't have any idea or information about the SPSS, you can choose uh, another software. Okay, but about SPSS, I can tell you that this is the software for analyzing the data for quantitative. Okay, for example, when you put the data to SPSS, SPSS can give you the relation of analyze the variable and can give you the relationship between this variable. Okay, and then you can get idea from the output of the SPSS. But in the way that how is SPSS work, I cannot tell you because you should download the SPSS software from your computer and see the tabs, see the options, and work with this. Okay, when you work with SPSS, when you input the data, and then you can understand. By stacking, I cannot give you anything. Okay, but if you need to have some slides about that, how you can work with SPSS, I can send you the some slides that help the student to work with the SPSS step by step. All right. So if you have interested to work with SPSS, the first step you should download this software, and after that use my slides. I don't know. I asked the student. Okay. All right. Okay. And then after you download the software, you can use the slide that I sent to you or other information available in the website, internet, or book, and work with this SPSS to learn more, okay? But as a whole, I can just tell you that this is the software that's analyzing the data and can investigate the relationship between the data and give you regression and also give you uh, the number that, for example, if you give X and Y to the SPSS can tell you that this X and this Y has related to each other or no. Do you select these two variable as a dependent or independent, correct or no? Something like this. But exactly if you want to know about this, you should just work with this SPSS, okay? That's all. And yes.
I think I'm already basically downloaded. It's almost going to be downloaded. And I think actually I'm really interested because I'm mostly working or mostly involved in data calculation. So this software will help me more.
Okay.
And if you need only a guideline about usage of this software, please send it to me and will help me. Otherwise, I hope I will be able to practically use it and test it. No problem.
All right. Yeah, because if you are sure that you want to use SPSS as a method of the data analysis, you can, you can focus on SPSS and spend time. If you think you can choose another, don't need to learn about SPSS. Just focus on the method analyzing that you think you can work with, okay? You want to use it as a data analysis, okay?
Yeah, for now I'm not looking to use this kind of software because I will use my previous things. Only this will be good for learning for the future statistics.
Okay, yeah. If you have time, you want to know about it for your future statistics, for example, experience, yes, SPSS is good. But, for example, for PhD, the SPSS not usually used because it's not complete software. And for example, at the PhD degree, they ask us to work with something like a structure equation model that we call it SEM under AMOS. Okay, maybe you hear about this. So I can write for you now.
Okay,
so my point is don't pay lots of time and attention to the method because maybe it's not after this maybe it's not useful for you. So just pay attention and focus and spend time on the method that you want use for your data analyzing in your research, okay? But yes, if you want, you can learn about SPSS. It depends on you. But for example, me, I didn't work with SPSS because it's not complete for me. So I didn't use SPSS and I'm working with AMOS, all right? Because of this, I told you that for data analyzing, it's very common that you go and see the expert. Because it is a very special thing, and it's not the ability for researcher, it's not the urgent ability for researcher that they should know that what is this software work, okay? Just researchers should this ability that conclude and make the conclusion from the output, how to analyze the output, but how to work with the software is not necessary for the researcher, all right? So for SPSS, if you want to have more idea, exactly you should talk to the person who worked with this software and do the research with SPSS. Okay. All right. SEM. Now I'm writing another software that's more completer than SPSS. And in the market, you can find many books that they guide the student to use SPSS or other method and software for analyzing the data. You can also follow this book. Structure equation modeling, or SEM, is under AMOS program. It's another famous technique that most of the PhD students use this. Okay, at the PhD level, most common is this. Another one is I think this is MATLAB. I think something like this. I can check. This is another common method. Let me check. MATLAB, I think it's most for archive, and it's not method for data analyzing, I think. Yes, MATLAB is not. All right, dear students, if you have questions, you can ask me. Mr. Zarqun, did you receive my email? Can you choose your topic? Hello, Mr. Zarqun, can you type now? Mr. Zarqun, can you hear me? Okay, student, if you have any question, you can ask me now. I'm here and I continue the class until 15 minutes later, okay? So if you have any question or problem, you can ask. Okay, I sent some information about MATLAB. And I try to find the slides that show you how you can use SPSS and then send to you by email. Mr. Nazari, did you receive my email about your research proposal revised?
Yes, I received your comments. Thank you very much. I will review my research proposal, and then I will start my work on my research proposal. Thank you very much for your good comments. Yeah,
Okay.
it is very valuable. Yeah.
So you can get my idea, my comment. You don't have any question about this?
No, it is very clear. It is very clear. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you very much. It is very good comments. Yeah.
Okay. So let me know about the revise your research proposal. Send me back, and then
Okay.
maybe for next Monday you say you are not ready, but for the next Monday maybe I will put your name for the presenter. Okay.
Because I have, I would like to go to the field trip and to provinces, and then for this learning need assessment of our staff. So maybe I will be out next week. So for
Okay.
this reason, yeah, yeah,
All right.
because already scheduled. My name is already scheduled, so I have to go for a few days to the field and then do learning need assessment of our staff and our implementing partner staff, and then bring come back and write report, and then yeah, gather the required information, yeah,
All
to
right.
make training plan, capacity building and training plan for our staff, field staff.
Okay. So I put your name for next Monday. Today is our 8th class. Okay. I put your name for 10th class, meaning 2 weeks later. It's okay, Mr. Nazari?
Yeah, 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 that's okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Yeah,
All right. All right. Thank you.
you are welcome.
Okay, Mr. Zarun, can you type now? Okay, a student, dear student, if you have any question, you can ask me now. And then, if you have a problem in each slide for each classes that we have, you can send me email. Maybe in next class that a student present, if we have time, we can focus more on slides that you have problem. For example, you can tell me that the class for sampling, the slides were difficult, we have problem, so I can bring for you more slides about sampling. Or you can, for example, tell me that about research objective, we have more questions, so I can bring more slides and explain more about research objective to you. So for these four class that we have, class 9, class 10, and 11 and 12, we can talk about your talk about your problem and the difficult slides that you have problem, and we can pay more attention to the subject that you have some problem on that. Okay, so please let me know about the parts, about the slides, about the subject that it's not clear for you in research methodology, that in the rest for class we can talk about them, that by the end of the research class you can have good idea and you have good information about research methodology. So please tell me about your question and problem. Then I can prepare for these four classes more slides about this. All right, thank you. You can mention not the total subject. For example, email to me that in sampling, this slide is difficult for me. Or for example, in research method that we have the class about inductive, deductive, conceptual framework, something like this. I have problem with this slide that I can't find the content of this slide and bring more examples to you. Okay, thank you. Yes, Mr. Zargun, you are right. Expect also that the students have more cooperation and coordination in order we have better class. All right. So because research methodology class, it's clear. It's about research. So if you have a research, if you do the research and bring it to class, we can have a discuss about it, we can have a Q&A, and then we can get a more idea. But just I talk about research methodology, it doesn't have point. So for this first 8 class, I bring a slide and present everything. You didn't do any assignment, but for the rest of the class, the rest 4 class that we have, I ask that a student to manage the class, present, bring a slide, and share the ideas. All right. So I ask you to inform other classmates, other students, if you see them, if you talk to them, that attend the class and be uh, and cooperate with us better than before. All right, thank you. Okay, dear student, if you don't have any other question or problem, we can finish the class now. But again and again, I ask you that and to use this opportunity. Okay, this is the opportunity that we all can gather and can share our idea and can use from each other. All right, so we can use our information, we can use our idea, we can get and give the comments. So it's better that we don't miss this opportunity, attend the class, and work harder. That's it. And if you don't have any question, we can finish the class now. Thank you. All right. I hope you have very good weekend. Thank you very much, and goodbye. See you in next class. Thank you.